This is Ag Matters PM from the Iowa Agribusiness Radio Network, brought to you by the Iowa Soybean Association, your daily recap of the information that affects Iowa's farmers, producers, and consumers, right here in the heart of the heartland. With reports from our award-winning broadcast team of Dustin Hoffman and Riley Smith. Now, from the IARN studios in Des Moines, here's Dustin Hoffman.
Well, good day and welcome to Ag Matters PM from the Iowa Agribusiness Radio Network. I'm Dustin Hoffman. Today is Thursday, June the 30th, 2022. It is USDA Report Day. We'll get to those in just a few minutes. I also have a chance to talk with USMEF President and CEO Dan Halstrom. We talk about the red meat export business. We talk about how pork is doing, and we also talk about what it takes to break into a market. We also have a check of your ag weather outlook, but as I said before, it's report day, so let's see how those markets shaped up. It's time now for the Ag Matters PM Closing Market Summary, your source for market analysis and settlement prices from the day's trade in Chicago, courtesy of the folks at agmarket.net. Well, we're at the end of the trading day here for this Thursday, and we turn to Jacob Burks of agmarket.net. Jacob, well, it was the big day we've been waiting for a few weeks. What happened today with those reports?
These are the days that in this industry you have a lot of a lot of hype, a lot of news waiting on these reports, these government reports. It creates extreme volatility, and today was no disappointment when it comes to that. Corn market in the few minutes after the report at 11 a.m. Central Time chopped back and forth to the point where the market didn't even realize what the report said. So usually you can get at least a directional off what the report said from the market movement. But beans, kind of led the way up, had some relatively friendly information on the report. We ended up trading in a 50-cent range throughout the day in the soybeans. Here around the close, we've sold this back off again, and you're kind of looking at what's leading the way here. I think the news was directional, but yet the weather market here and the anti-inflationary trade is just taking over here at the end of the day.
It's funny, we spent all this time anticipating and all this time, trying to figure out what the USDA is going to do, and then a few minutes later, okay, we're on to the next thing. The market doesn't have a very long attention span, does it?
It's the old adage of buy the rumor, sell the facts, and that stuff was because we build up trying to anticipate what the news is, and this is again not a different story here at all. We had, I would call it, a relatively neutral report on the corn market. Acres came in slightly higher. The quarterly stocks report came out within range of estimates. With basis plays, I think everybody that are standing on the bullish side had their fingers crossed that they would find something that found that the corn wasn't around. Now, the problem that the way I look at it was we have a larger than normal corn market that's still in the hands of farmers. Farmers right now at a higher level, they've been pretty stingy with the corn. They haven't had to make the sales. The basis is still trying to bid for it. Therefore, they say the USDA says that the bushels are there, 4.3 billion bushels still left over, just a lot more in the hands of the farmers, and I think that's been kind of the pressure here as of late. You look at the soybean number, much lower than what we expected to see in the planted acres numbers. That was the immediate response off that news. But just right now we just couldn't hold it, and it's attention span gone. We're looking at the next one.
So what about on the livestock side of things? How did things shake out there with the cattle and the hogs?
Oh, are they trading today? Okay, that's kind of the focus has been on grain so much, but the feeder cattle did take a liking to the corn being sold off. You look at that, the feeder cattle haven't lost the fact that the demand still has to be there for the end product, because if you go back to the chart, and we've seen corn fall off, how much in the last 2 weeks. Feeder cattle have really chopped back and forth. Now we're up 240 today off a big down day in the corn market, but still a relatively strong feeder cattle market. Cash market has really changed the spread between June and August live cattle. So we're back up to like a $4.50 spread between that contract. Box beef was down. It's just been chopping sideways on the demand side of things, which in a market where you're talking about deflationary situation or stopping the inflation, government's wanting cheap food, and we still see cash market going higher, still see box beef up around 264, I believe is where we're at today. That's not a bad thing. I think the disappointing trade today was the hog market. That's been more of a technical trade right now. You've seen the cutouts, on its way up, kind of steadying out right now. But we got the August hogs down about $1.50 right now. So realistically, a pretty nonchalant trade. It's all the excitement was in the grain markets today.
Well, we're definitely going to need the holiday weekend to just kind of take a breath and get ready to go into July, and hopefully things will start to get into a little bit more clear picture.
Yeah, I mean, the thing about it is it's kind of a significant week here. You've got this big report on the 30th, and now we go to trade tomorrow, and then we have the markets won't open back up again till Tuesday morning. That's a lot of time to factor in some forecast. If you get your fingers crossed and hoping for another opportunity to make sales, there's your chance. And I think as you go through that next weekend, that's going to be not one of the last chances. Obviously, you got to finish the crop off, but that's what the bulls are hanging their hats on right now. Is maybe we'll continue this hot and dry. And you do look across the drought monitors and look across the forecast, you'll see that the opportunity is there. I mean, there's some areas that are showing some signs. If they don't get the rains, we could have that pop back up. So again, we talk a lot about staying flexible in your marketing plan and not trying to base a lot of your livelihood on your guess or somebody else's guess. And this is a very, very good example of why we like to use some risk management strategies.
All right. Well, if folks want to look at those marketing plans and look what options they have, what's the best way for them to get in touch with agmarket.net?
We encourage guys to go to look at our website, simply agmarket.net. Sign up for the 30-day free trial. All our information will come to you. You can manage your subscription in that way. And right there on that page, you can look at our team, find out if there's somebody you've talked to. Give us a holler. You can find us all right there at agmarket.net.
All right. Well, Jacob, we thank you so much for the input, and we'll talk to you again tomorrow, the way it sounds.
All right. We'll talk to you. Look forward to it, Dustin. Have a good day.
That again was Jacob Burks of agmarket.net. Let's go ahead and run down those closing numbers, courtesy of the folks at Bar Chart. July corn finished 26.5 cents lower at 7.43 3/4. September down 35 1/4 at 6.28 3/4. December down 34 at 6.19 3/4. August soybeans down 11 at 15.60 1/2. November down 20 1/4 at 14.58 even. Soy meal was up $6.20 at 4.35.50. Soy oil down $2.49 at 67.01. September Chicago wheat down 46 cents at 8.84 even. Minneapolis wheat down 38 1/2 at 9.90 even. Kansas wheat down 39 1/2 at 9.51 3/4. September oats unchanged at 5.15 1/2. August live cattle were 40 cents higher at 132.57. August feeders 287 higher at 173.60. Lean hogs were down 27 cents at 109.12. Pork cutouts down a dime at 110.40. Class 3 milk unchanged at 24.33. And that again was your ag market recap. We're going to take a short break here from our sponsor, the Iowa Soybean Association and the Soy Checkoff. When we come back, I visit with USMEF President and CEO Dan Halstrom. This is Ag Matters PM.
Iowa Soybean Association is driven to deliver for Iowa's 40,000 soybean farmers. We're proud to provide objective agronomic research, a helping hand with soil and water stewardship, and timely industry news powered by the Soybean Checkoff. Learn more at iasoybeans.com.
Welcome back to AM/PM from the Iowa Agribusiness Radio Network. I'm Dustin Huffman. Well, during the World Pork Expo held earlier this month, I had the chance to catch up with Dan Halstrom. He's president and CEO of the U.S. Meat Export Federation, and we talked about the state of the export market around the globe. So right now we're talking with Dan Halstrom, president and CEO of the U.S. Meat Export Federation. Dan, great to have you here at World Pork Expo and talking about an industry that you guys are really working hard to help market around the world.
Yeah, thanks, Dustin. Good to be here. The partnership that we have with ag in general, but specifically with the pork industry at World Pork Expo, it's we're just honored to be a part of it. And one of the fastest growing facets of demand in the pork sector has been the international business. So we're coming off of our second largest year ever export-wise last year, 2021. We're down a bit this year, but almost all that has to do with China. They're rebounding in their domestic herds, and the need for imports is down. But the rest of the world continues to be pretty resilient, and we have a lot of good news out there in Japan, in Mexico, and the Latin American countries as they rebound from COVID with food service. We're seeing a lot of good things going on out there, and it's encouraging.
You know, I was talking just with the National Pork Board a few minutes ago, and they were talking about the fact that while the numbers are down, sometimes it's the values that are coming up. You know, you're seeing them take, as their economies are growing, you're starting to see them take loins or ribs or things like that. I mean, the variety cuts are still going to be a part of their traditional diets and stuff, but they're starting to explore into some other options for themselves.
Exactly, yeah. That's part of our job, educating the global consumer, is to show them options, show them merchandising options, cut options, culinary options. You know, a concept of smoking, for example, is totally new concept in most of Asia. We're very used to the smoking concept here, and the whole barbecue concept is new in Asia. So these are some trends that might be old to us, but they're new in some of these Asian countries. So it's a good example of what you just mentioned there.
So when you go into a country, whether it's Asia, whether it's Africa and stuff, and you're trying to build that market, you know, for these different cuts, how do you go in there and market to the average consumer so they can kind of feel like, because I mean, we can talk trade, we can talk policy and governments and all that stuff, but the thing is, once you get down to the consumer, I mean, how do you market to them to kind of change the way they've been thinking?
Yeah, well, what we do, the first thing we do is we go in and we develop relationships, and it starts with the trade, not the consumer. The distributors, the importers, the distributors, the wholesalers, and we go in and we work with them. We educate them about our product mix, about our great story, production technology story, safety story, nutritional story, taste story. And then they go out and help us work with the consumers. And we do work with a lot of consumers in a lot of markets, but it's usually with the trade. So that we're sending the same message. And you know, whether it's, in the end, you want a good taste experience and you want to have a good experience in general, right? And so it takes years to establish some of these relationships. A place like Japan we've been in, this is our 45th anniversary of having an office in Japan, in Tokyo. And our newest office is in Durban, South Africa, and we've been there 2 years. So, and everything in between around, we have 19 offices around the world. So this is our chance to work with the trade in all these different countries to eventually reach the consumer with our great products, be it pork or beef.
And you know, it's really interesting as you're talking about, you know, you have these variety cuts, you know, things that you probably wouldn't see on the grocery store shelves here in Des Moines. But obviously it's traditional dishes there, or it's because of the fact that their economies were the way they were, they get what they can get. How it's also good for producers, I suppose, to see that their product is being marketed in a way that it's being used totally and it's finding use like that.
Yeah, the way to think of it is that we're marketing the whole carcass. You know, and quite frankly, we don't sell many middle meats on the beef side internationally. We sell some, but very small percentage. We're more interested in the end cuts. A lot of rounds are exported, a lot of chuck rolls are exported, and a lot of variety meats are exported. So last year, we're a little over 10 billion in beef exports. 1.2 billion was variety meats. So 12-13% of our exports last year were variety meats. And I'll give you some examples. A beef tongue. Chilled beef tongues into Japan today bring $11 a pound. You'd be lucky to get $1.50 or $1 a pound here. Just it's not the culinary cuisine that our culture in the U.S. consumes. It's a delicacy in Japan. Beef lips. Almost every beef lip that's harvested either goes into an ethnic market in the U.S. or Mexico. And we're getting $2 a pound on beef lips to Mexico, and a lot of them wouldn't even bring any value here unless you were in an ethnic community. So these are the sorts of things, putting the right cut in the right market to maximize value. That's what we work with the trade to do.
And you know, it's nothing new for USMEF, but obviously we learned during these trade wars, having your eggs in one basket isn't a good idea. And so we've got obviously China, Mexico, big, huge buyers of our product. But once you get past that, if China isn't buying as much because of trade disagreements, where do you make up that ground? Because obviously you don't want to be holding on to this product forever. You got to find a place to market it.
No, you're exactly right. I mean, it's real simple. More buyers are better than less. More country destinations are better than less. So we have a conscious strategy to diversify as much as possible away from being overly reliant on one or two markets. And everyone talks about China, and that's a good example. A year ago, 2021, on the pork side, about 30% of our exports went to China. And we're consciously trying to expand outside Central America, Philippines, Vietnam, the list goes on. Europe, our biggest competitor to China, 65% of their exports go to China. So I like where we're positioned vis-a-vis where the Europeans are from that standpoint. One final comment is we always are planting seeds to develop the newest, what's the newest market, what's the next horizon, and quite frankly, I'm going to use this time to plug Africa as a continent.
Right.
We have expanded resources. We have a person in an office in Durban, South Africa. We're looking to add another person in West Africa. Not sure yet where, probably Ghana. Because I'm telling you what, 1 billion people in the continent of Africa. Now granted, there's a lot of poor, there's a lot of low class, a lot of upper class, but the middle class is beginning to grow. And this is our opportunity. So it's starting with variety meats, but there's also demand for muscle cuts on the beef side, pork side as well. Keep your eye on Africa, because long term, this region and some specific countries, South Africa, Angola, Ghana, show a lot of promise going forward.
That again was Dan Halstrom, President and CEO of the U.S. Meat Export Federation. Let's take a look at the weather. Well, it was sunny and a little bit warmer here in central Iowa today as the temperatures creeped up just a little bit like we expected them to. But now we're starting to see clouds roll in across parts of the state as the chance of rain is coming up for tomorrow. How much and what will the temperatures be? Let's take a look at what the National Weather Service has to say. Well, as we said earlier, it was sunny and warm again, seeing those highs of the low to mid 90s across most of the state. Some clouds are starting to build in from the north and west. Could see a few showers coming in here later on tonight as we look for partly to mostly cloudy skies. Chance of thunderstorms mainly, though, in the southern tier counties. Lows will be in the mid 60s to maybe 70. Tomorrow, variably cloudy skies across the state with a chance of thunderstorms in the southern tier counties, also in eastern Iowa as well. And we'll see highs in the low to mid 80s. Taking a look at the affiliate weather map, Cherokee will have mostly cloudy to partly sunny skies depending on your philosophical leanings and a high of 86. Shenandoah looking for it to be mostly cloudy with a 40% chance of showers and storms and a high of 80. Des Moines looking to be cloudy and a 30% chance of showers and 83. Waterloo mostly cloudy to partly sunny and 84. Albia will be 82 degrees with cloudy skies and a 40% chance of showers and storms. Clinton looks to be cloudy with a 30% chance of showers and storms and a high of 83 degrees. And that's been a check of your ag weather outlook. For more detailed forecasts in your area, tune to your local Iowa Agribusiness Radio Network affiliate. And like that, we're at the end of another show. You can find all our content online at iowaagnet.com. You can follow us on Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, Instagram, TikTok, and on YouTube, where you can find our past video content as well as other episodes of AM/PM. So don't forget to subscribe, hit that bell icon. You'll get notified when new content comes out. You can also subscribe to our free twice daily podcasts on the markets. You can find them on Google, Amazon, Apple, Podbean, and Spotify. From the IARN studios in Des Moines, I'm Dustin Huffman. For Riley Smith and Avery Haskell, we thank you for watching. This has been Ag Matters PM.